Hello, everyone. Hold on. We're going to do a little. Okay. Happy Tuesday for those of you that are live. And if you're not live, happy whatever day or not happy whatever day. We don't have to be happy. It's just the program thing that we say, happy Tuesday, happy Monday. It's not even a happy if it's not happy for you. It is whatever it is with you. You know what I mean? Good morning. Good morning. All right. How is everyone? I'm so happy to be here with you guys. Episode 36 of Untangled. And my hair is untangled, but it's sort of a mess. It's a beautiful mess. Hi, Wes. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Natasha. Hi, Yoga Joe. So good to see you, my friend. Hi, Anja. And Eclectic Vibes. Hello. Thanks for reading the book. Hi, Simple Minutes. Steph, Patricia, Julie, Deborah, Marlene, Mariana, Moonwaters. I love your name. Wendy, Nebba. Beautiful Truth. I love that name. Jennifer, Jonathan. Hello, you guys. So good to be here with everybody. Hi, Paige. Mr. Floyd. Good dawning. Nina, hello. Michelle, May. Okay, that's enough. Let's get going. I have to end at exactly 10 because I'm going into, I have a Patreon community for those of you that are not aware. I have an online subscription-based Patreon community. I do 5 live events a month, and our live Q&A, if for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I scheduled it at 10 a.m. California time today. So I have to get off at exactly 10 to jump over to our Patreon. If you want to join our live Q&A, which is usually about 90 minutes. I answer so many questions. If you are interested in joining our community, thousands of people all over the world that you connect with weekly, I have left the link right down below in our description box. So you can click the link in the description box and join us at 10 a.m. I'd love to have you. There's also hundreds of recorded events, channelings, Q&As, meditations. So much fun stuff is in there. So if you're curious and you want more of my stuff and a community, join us. You can always unsubscribe at any time. $23. All right. So before I start, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about today. I don't even know. But before I do begin to share whatever's going to come through, hi, Houston, Texas. Hi, Mexico. Happy you're here. Hi, Hockey Tate. I'm glad that you're using your son or your kid's account. Two things I want to mention before I begin. The first one is that I will be live, obvious. I will be in person for the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles, California. The expo goes from February 10th to the 12th. And there's hundreds of presenters and speakers and booths, and there's so many cool people that are going to be there, so many amazing people that are going to be speaking. And I will be speaking on Sunday, the 12th at 8 p.m. That is my bedtime. I will most likely be in pajamas, sitting cross-legged on the stage. But I'm really excited to share that space with you guys. So if you're able to come, I would love to meet you. And I'm also signing books on Saturday. I left all the details down below. Conscious Life Expo. If you're in the area near California, near LA, come see me. I'd love to see you. And the second thing is many of you know that I'm doing a European book tour for the Divine Design in March. And if you haven't gotten your copy of the Divine Design, I highly encourage it. It's an audio, Kindle, paperback, hard copy. Anyway, I added one last day to my tour, and that's going to be in Gothenburg, Sweden, not Stockholm, but Gothenburg. And that's March 27th, 6 to 9 p.m. And I would love to see as many of you as possible in person. I left the link down below in the description box as well if you wanted to join us in Sweden. We do still have tickets left for Hamburg, Germany, March 25th, and we have tickets left for Ireland, Dublin, Ireland, March 16th, which, by the way, is going to be so much freaking fun because it's the day before St. Patty's Day. Woo, 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 woo. So anyway, hi Lars. Yeah, I should literally come in pajamas. I'll see you in Sweden, Marlene. Yay, I'm so happy to meet you guys. Thanks, Steph, for the supporting with the audiobook. Hi, Andrea. You're going to be there in Hamburg. Yay. Hi from New Mexico. Okay, so those are my only 3 things I wanted to say. I have been thinking about, so let's just start. Let's just start. Hi, Dorada. Let's just start this episode. Okay, so God bless this entire human journey. uh, I think that this past week, the predominant experiences that I've been having is a couple things. I have been experiencing a lot of thought and perhaps even lack around money and getting caught up and swept up in money, making money. Do I have enough money? Do I want to keep doing what I'm doing? Do I want to create new things? Nothing's coming through. There's just a lot of things coming through with money. One of the reasons, the biggest reason, is because I'm being audited by the IRS. For those of you, many of you know this. For those of you that are not aware of what the IRS is, it is a um, governmental it's a department in the government. I don't even know how you would describe it, right? It's a department in our government that um, we pay with our taxes, and we pay our taxes to this, little, let's call it like a department. And what this IRS department will do is they do audits on people. They'll go, or companies or whatever, and they'll take your income tax returns that you did a couple of years ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and they'll go through it with a fine-tooth comb, what is that? And they will try to find ways to say that this is not tax deductible, it's not a business expense, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this girl right here got audited for 2 years. Um, yep. So, it hasn't been fun. It's been ongoing for almost a little over a month, and it's created a lot of, thought around money. And I have a pretty good practice of how I get through anxiety and stress. Um, a couple of things that I do so that I don't get wrapped up in what's happening is, I'm not in a state of denial, so I'm very aware of what's occurring. I'm very aware of the stress that I feel when I get a call from my accountant or I get an email. I'm very aware of what is like happening physically in my body. I'm aware of what my thoughts are doing, where they're taking me, what they're saying as she's speaking to me, right? I'm aware of the anxiety. I'm aware of these things. So that's the first part of my practice. And what's so powerful about these types of experiences that can rattle you, for me personally, it's being audited by the IRS. For you, it could be something else, a heartbreak, wanting to have a baby and not being able to, constantly being told you're not pregnant. It could be that you lost your job. It could be that you're in the midst of a divorce. It just could be that you hate your job right now, where I don't know, whatever it is, right? It creates anxiety. It creates some stress. It creates stories in your mind, thoughts that take you down a path, right? Whatever it is, we each have our own unique experiences that create anxiety and stress and worry. And if you don't, that's a beautiful experience as well. But what I do, number one, because these things can rattle us and they can pull us down these rabbit holes and spiral us, right? What anxiety is designed to do is it pulls you into a future, and you start creating a future that is absolutely not true, and it pulls you out of the present moment, and the present moment is really the safest place to be. So the first thing that I do when I'm going through and navigating, I spent probably 18 hours this weekend working on extra stuff that the IRS agent wanted, extra things on top of the receipts I've already given, right? So all this extra proof. And the way I got through it and navigated it is I was aware first and foremost. I was aware of what are you feeling in your body? What does it feel like in your body? Are you nauseous? Are you sick to your stomach? Do you want to go eat? Do you feel tightness? Do you do you feel like there's this anxious energy moving through you? What's going on in your body? And then you also want to be aware, like, what are my thoughts? What am I thinking? You know, what thoughts are popping up and what thoughts am I believing to be true? And then these thoughts are so powerful, they're going to pull you like a magnet. And you're not even going to be aware that you are now being pulled by thoughts. So you really want to be aware of the thought, right? You want to be aware this is a thought. I am paying attention to a thought. Thoughts are so powerful that we don't even realize it's a thought. That's how powerful they are. And then what I do is I focus on the present moment. I focus as much as I can on right here, right now. Like, am I safe right here, right now? I am safe right here, right now. Yeah. Does anything need to change about this moment right here, right now? No. Nothing needs to change about right here, right now. Is it okay to be in whatever this is right here, right now? Is it okay? Is it okay to be this? Is it okay to experience this? Is it okay? Deep down, yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Will what I'm in right now pass? Yeah, it's going to pass. Right? I start asking myself these questions. Can I breathe? Yeah, I can breathe. You know, it's a constant practice of being able to pull yourself back into as much of a present state as possible as you're navigating whatever it is that's rattling you. It's extremely important that I don't go down the rabbit hole of, which is very easy. Screw them. This is corruption. This is illegal. I can't believe this agent doesn't understand, blah, blah, blah. You can go down those rabbit holes. I could easily go down this. This is evil. This is corruption. This is unfair. I can't believe. And when you do that, it's it's okay for me. I recognize when I go down that road, right? I have to get it out. But as I'm getting it out, as I'm getting angry and frustrated and really, really very acutely aware of how illegal this system is, how corrupt it is, how this one woman literally has the power in her hands for me to pay all this extra money or not based on what she thinks may or may not be a business expense, even though there are all of these receipts and all this proof. So this one person sitting at a desk has this power, okay? It's very corrupt. So am I going to I'm aware of this, okay? And I'm conscious of this. And I'm allowing myself to have that experience and to have those thoughts. The choices, okay? So this isn't about ignoring or denying what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. The choices, or that it's not there, like somehow you're just gonna it's just all love and light. Like, no, there's massive corruption on this planet. The IRS is a beautiful example of it. So am I going to choose to allow my energy to be pulled like a magnet into continuing to perpetuate the anger, the frustration, the fight? um it's like a snowball effect, okay? So I have to be conscious of, I am now feeding into the corruption and the evil and the fucked up shit, excuse my language, and all this stuff. Am I gonna stay focused on that and let that snowball get bigger and bigger, and then I'm just gonna keep bitching about it and keep moaning about it, right? Maybe. Just pay attention to that. Just pay attention to where your focus is and what you're giving attention to and what you're choosing to play in. That's all, just pay attention to it. Or am I gonna choose to be aware of that and move myself into a state of it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it, right? I show up in the moment that I'm showing up. I provide what I need to provide. So think about this in terms of whatever you're going through. I don't know what you're going through. Maybe you don't even know why you have anxiety, okay? But does anxiety, does stress, does worry pull you down a street and it's like a magnet and then you are just stuck and you are going for a ride? And there's all these stories around it, right? And maybe you even call people and you just start bitching and moaning about that street that you're down. Or you start to bring yourself as much as possible into a different road, onto a different street, which is not negating this other street. That is there. Corruption is there. The IRS bullshit is there. Like the control is there. And I will feel it as it pops up 1,000%. But then I choose, okay, Lori, it is what it is. Can you change any of this? No. Do you want to waste your time and energy focusing on it, bitching about it, complaining about it? No. How do you want to be? I want to be present. I want to be free in my mind. I want to feel my breath. I want to be grateful. What do you want to be grateful for, Lori? That I have a roof over my head, that I have a car that I get to drive in, that I have family that's alive and healthy, that I'm healthy, that I can be kind to people, that I can open my heart to people, that I can laugh with people. Doing that, does that take away from what I am going through? That I'm eventually going to get a report, and most likely the report is going to say you owe dot 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 because the business expenses that you actually had for business are not going to be approved, right? Am I going to hold on to that, wait for that letter, like stress about that letter, freak out about what may come, what is coming, or am I just going to stay focused as much as possible on presence? What am I doing right here, right now? What's right here, right now for me? And then what's next? And then when your mind takes you, right? Because it's going to take you to that where that anxiety is. The practice is not to get upset with yourself. The practice is not to push it aside and ignore it. The practice is to watch it come up and then say, okay, I'm going to come back to what is right here, right now. Am I free right here, right now? Yeah, I am. Is it okay where I'm at? Yeah, it's okay where I'm at. Is everything okay right now? Yeah, it actually is. Or maybe it's not. Maybe you are literally in this moment not safe. And then even by bringing an awareness to that, it lets go of the unsafeness. This is the practice, and whatever there's like a spectrum of what we're going through. And there is a squeeze happening right now for a lot of people around money. It's like a collective vibrational energy that a lot of people are feeling. And the key to going through this evolution that we're going through, the key to going through all of this is to first and foremost be aware of what you're feeling. Just really being aware of what you are feeling. The power of that. The power of being aware of what you are feeling. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other night on the phone, late at night, and it was really interesting because your body will give you signals all day long of what's going on with you. And the other night when I was on the phone with this individual, they were saying things to me that were moving me into trauma response. Uh, a trauma response to me is my body, when this person said something to me, it reminded me of something that happened to me when I was 26, right? And I had a really traumatic experience where my heart was broken so badly, um, that it activated, my eating disorder. It was that bad for me, right? And, I remember feeling so much pain that I said, I will not feel this." I was 26, 25 maybe. "I will not feel this. I'm not going to feel this." I made a unconsciously, but conscious. I remember exactly where I was sitting on the bed, and I made a conscious decision. There was so much pain that I was like, I will not feel this." And then unconsciously, I went into this eating disorder. So, anyway, the other night, we were having this conversation, and this individual said certain things from this person's heart, and I was in my body immediately responded. And because I have such a beautiful connection with this individual and I can be so honest and open, I was expressing what my body was going through. My body got nauseous, so nauseous. I mean, I'm talking immediately, you guys. Oh, like within a point 0.2 seconds, the words came out of this person's mouth, and my body went into a trauma response. And I got so sick to my stomach. I got nauseous. I got angry. I I got tight and restrictive. I couldn't speak. I started to almost it was, like tears were running down my face. Then I noticed myself shutting off. So I was watching all of these things happen. It was as if there was this tangibility of experience now because of the way that I have been practicing in my life, right? I practice every day. What am I feeling now? What am I feeling now? Every day I practice compassion for myself. Every day I am feeling my body. Every day I am getting quiet so that I can hear my thoughts, right? And all of these things gift me with the ability to really sit with every moment that arises. So when a trauma response arises, I can be aware of what is actually occurring. And the reason that this is so powerful is because when you are acutely aware of what is arising in the moment based on what somebody has said, first of all, you don't blame the other person at all. And then all that does is build whatever back and forth relationship you have because you're not blaming them. It respects and honors you because you're actually listening to you. You're realizing the pain that you have gone through in the past. You're realizing that your cells in your body store it and will respond to something similar from that physiological response. You're giving yourself empowerment and power because you're now able to choose how you're going to react. It's not unconscious. You know, many times for a lot of us, there is an unconscious response to a trauma response. We don't even realize that we are responding from a trauma response. It's a knee-jerk reaction. This is what we do. Screw you. I'm leaving. Turn my back, right? Because we don't even want to feel a trauma response can feel really, really intense. Really intense. And it will bring you right back, whether you're aware of it or not, it will bring you right back to the initial moment that that first trauma happened. And even if you don't know when that first trauma response happened, you don't need to know. All you need to be aware of is what is your body telling you. When you get triggered, okay? When somebody does something or says something that triggers you, all that's doing is rattling a physiological response within you that we call trigger. Oh, this person triggered me. There must be something happening. Okay, so forget about the storyline around triggering. Just feel what's going on in your body. Get curious about what's happening here. right? This is why blaming other people is really detrimental to your own process of wholeness, coming back to wholeness or healing. Because what you do when you blame other people is you are giving them the gift of your own transformation. So I could have gotten really upset with my friend on the phone, you know, and I could have, and I really wanted to hang up. I really wanted to get off. I really wanted to tell this person to fuck off. I'm like, I really, really wanted to. And that would have been fine, absolutely fine. But there was another part of me that knew that this was a really huge transformational moment for me. So there's two parts of me that are playing out, right, in this back and forth friendship. The first is, Lori, keep your heart open and lean in. Keep your heart open, lean in, and keep being vulnerable. Don't run from any potential future outcome. Okay. And then the other part of me was, fuck off. No way. I'm not doing this. I'm out. And that's a protection. I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to keep myself safe. It's a false sense of protection. It's a false sense of safety, because what you're doing is you're actually trying to predict a future that you will never be able to predict. Many times when we get into friendships, relationships, a job, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We futurize. What is this going to do for us? Where are we going with this? How great is this job going to be? How much money am I going to make? What are we going to do in this friendship? What's going to happen in this relationship that I'm starting? How long are we going to be together? If I commit to this person, are they going to be able to do, all these futurizing things? And so we make decisions in a now based on a future that we're not at and that we will never be able to have the answers for. And that's a very scary place to be. It's very scary to make choices based on the now and only on the now. Most people would say that's irresponsible. I would say it's absolute flow. It's the truest state that you can be in. And it will give you the highest outcome if you make choices from only a now. Right. And I don't have children. So I will say that if you have children, you probably can't do that. Okay. So if you have children, you do have to make decisions based on a future. And that is an absolute for sure, probably. I don't know. I'm not a parent. So for those of you that are parents, just know that I'm not a parent. I don't have children. And so I'm speaking from somebody that doesn't have children. Sure, if you have children, that's a different ballpark. Okay. Um, but But if you're living life without needing to make decisions for other people that need you to make decisions for them, just pay attention, and putting children aside, think of all the times that you are feeling like you have to make a decision based on a future and how you'll argue for that. Well, no, I have to think about this. I have to think about the future because what if the housing market goes down? Like, I got to think about these things. I got to go into the future. I got to research. I got to do all these things. And I would argue you don't. I would argue that, yes, that's true. You absolutely have to. And I would also say that there is a higher outcome in a present moment state. And what that means is, what are you actually feeling right here, right now? What is your absolute truth right here, right now? So when I was on the phone with this individual and they spoke what they said and my body reacted, right? I was aware of two experiences right there, right now, two roads, right? The road of lean in and the road of fuck off, right? I was aware of both of those. And then it became, okay, Lori, which one is a response that doesn't feel safe? The one that wants to say fuck off. It's legitimate. It absolutely deserves to be given attention to, and if I do it, I do it. All right? I have compassion for whatever choice I make. There is no wrong choice for me, ever. There's no wrong choice. But I knew that if I did the fuck off, I'm gonna hang up and I'm out, right? If I did that, I knew that that would be the choice that was still playing in trauma. Like, there's a part of me that's protecting me. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with protecting you, especially if you're in something that is unsafe, somebody is disrespecting you, somebody is mistreating you. Somebody is not understanding your boundaries, they don't respect you, all of that, right? You absolutely say, "Screw you, I'm out," if you are being disrespected, not honored, not appreciated, not seen, not heard, okay? So I'm not saying that. I'm 100% heard by this individual, respected, seen, appreciated, all of that. There was just an honest expression and then my reaction to it. So if you're not in that kind of back and forth friendship and relationship, then you need to look at what's going on inside of you and why you are choosing to be in a friendship or a relationship with someone that doesn't even have respect for you and can't listen to you and can't hold space for you and can't hear you and can't appreciate you and can't accept and blah blah blah, right? But this person was doing all of that. So here's this the shut up, I'm leaving or stay, right? Two different and this can be for anything that you're going through, right? Just pay attention to the choices that you are making, the awareness of those choices, what it feels like in your body, and the kind of the deeper why of doing it. And then what eventually happened for me during this conversation, which was like a 5-hour conversation on the phone, was there was this dropping deeper into the expression of what I was feeling, the expression of what I was going through in my body, talking it out, long pauses to just allow myself to be in it, right? And just a deeper exploration of what was happening. So I just stayed. I leaned in, right? And I didn't run. That was the choice I ended up making. And so when it comes to things like the IRS, for instance, right, and the things that I'm navigating with that, it's the same thing. Okay, so the 2 roads for me with the IRS, and I'm just sharing this so that you can perhaps look at your own life and say, "Wait, what is rattling me? Is it when my partner says something? Is it just me living life? Is it like what's rattling me? And what are the responses or reactions that I have? Are there 2 of them? Are there 3 of them?" So with the IRS, for instance, I have 2 choices. I have the path of anger and just continuing to go down the path. I can hold that anger all day long or throughout my day. The frustration, the fact that I literally think this agent might be an alien, like, does not understand the world, um, at all. Like, I think she might have been dropped down from a spaceship, literally into an IRS agent office. I can go into that space and just be like, "This is so unfair, blah, blah, blah," or I can lean in, right? And be present with just life, right? Be present. Imagine if I was no longer on the planet, like if I had a near death experience and, I died and I was floating above my body. Like, how would I want to be right here, right now? What would I be grateful for? Would I be feeling the sun on my face? Would I be in awe of the little children that I see and the dogs and the animals and the birds? Or would I want to be worried about the IRS audit? All right. If I was floating out of my body, I talk about near death experiences right now because I've been watching a lot of them because they're so profound. I'm sure a lot of you guys watch these. They're so profound. And if I was floating out of my body and I was watching myself have this back and forth conversation with a friend of mine on the phone the other night, you know, how would I have chosen to be from that state? Oh, I would have leaned in 100%, you know, leaned in, got super present, felt, been, I would have been kind. And that's how I wanna be in my life, is so present that I'm just honoring what's showing up, so present that I'm in awe of what I'm going through. The other night, I got on a call with my mom. I lost my shit, like, lost my shit, and got angry with her and, I was, arguing about the choices that she was making and the impact that it has on me and these old kind of patterns that we have done in a lot of our life with together and and I was going down a rabbit hole. I was in anger and I was in the story so deeply and I was aware that I was in the story. I was aware that I was arguing with her. I was aware that I was being aggressive in my energy. I was aware that I was being a know-it-all, and I was aware of all of that. I was aware that I was uncomfortable in the energies that I was continuing to allow build up in me, right? It's like this snowball. I was aware of all of it. Okay. So I wasn't unaware of what was happening. I was conscious and aware of exactly what was happening, what was going on, what I was feeling. So what I tried to do, because have you felt this, right? Where you're just taken away by the energies and and you just can't seem to pull yourself out, almost like it feels good, but it doesn't feel good, but it feels good. So you're going through it and going, or, it's just taking you. You ever get in an argument with someone and you know that like this argument is not healthy, but it feels good in some fucked up weird way. And so you just keep arguing. There's a energy that just builds like a fire. So weird. But if you're aware of it, that's a very powerful step. So one of the things I tried to do while I was in this energy with my mom that was so uncomfortable, I imagined that I was having a near death experience and I was above my body. I was like, "Lori, imagine if you were having a near death experience right now. Would you be the same way with your mom? Would you be responding this way?" And I couldn't I was I could I pulled myself into that awareness. Um, I pulled myself into that awareness for a moment, and excuse me, I have to just move my legs falling asleep. I pulled myself into that awareness quickly, and I imagined that I was looking down and like, well, no, I definitely would everything would be okay and everything would be fine, and none of this would really matter. And then I consciously chose, I literally was like, fuck it. I don't care. I'm not in a near death. This is all happening while I'm having a conversation with my mother. The conversation hasn't stopped in order to allow me to have this awareness. This is juggling. This is like multi-dimensional juggling in a way, right? I was still having the conversation with my mom, still yelling, still getting aggressive, still having stress in my body, freaking out, and I was like, "Okay, if I was above my body right now, would I be able to see all of this from a different perspective and know that this is perfect and it's just part of life and eventually I'm going to die, and is this really going to matter?" And then the part of me is like, "Fuck yes, it's going to matter. Of course it's going to matter. My feelings deserve to be honored, and if I'm feeling this stress, it's okay to feel this stress." And then I'm like, "Yeah, but if I was dead and I was floating up over my body, would it really matter?" And I kept doing this like back and forth, while I was having a conversation. The conversation kept going. Um, and so that was fascinating for me. This, you guys know this about me, but I do my best to have so much compassion for myself and others on this journey. And I don't beat myself up. I don't beat myself up. I don't say to myself, shit, I should have done it differently on the phone. I don't. I swear to God, I don't. I just am like, oh, wow, I got wrapped up. Let me message my mom, and tell her what I'm feeling right now. Um, and move forward, and that's awareness. That's the human journey. It's not like, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have responded that way. That makes no sense, you guys. Saying that you shouldn't have doesn't, first of all, when you say I shouldn't have, that means you're in a past. Okay. First, you're not even present. Second, saying that you shouldn't have means that you are that you should that the actual experience that you are having and the way that you were just naturally responding isn't okay. Now, people are going to say, well, a natural response isn't necessarily okay. It's not healthy. It's not productive. It's not, it was hurting people. Yes and no. This is the part about the human evolution that we have to start to have respect for and honor for and compassion for. If in a moment in a past you responded out of anger or rage or resentment, so what? That was the truest expression for you in that moment. And that deserves to be respected and honored and have compassion for. Big fucking deal. In that moment, that's how you responded. That's where guilt comes from. You're looking back at your life and judging what you did when you were literally expressing and experiencing from your level of awareness. And why would you make that not okay? It just was you expressing and experiencing the experience between you and that person or you and that event or whatever it was. So what? This whole idea that we should have done it better, we should be doing it better, we should be doing it this way, we shouldn't be doing it that way is a really fucked up trap. There is no should or shouldn't. There is no I need to be doing it a different way. I should do it this way or I should do it that way. All that's doing is keeping you in a conditioned reality, judging yourself unconsciously, thinking that you're not judging yourself. And the reason that it's important to even look at the fact that you're judging yourself is because you can at least have compassion for the fact that you're judging yourself. I'm not saying don't stop judging yourself because even that is judging the judger, right? Like, don't even judge the fact that you're judging yourself. Just be aware of the fact that you're judging yourself. Can you have compassion for the fact that you're judging yourself? How about that? Wow, I'm judging myself right now. My neck's gotten really tight. Wow, can I be aware can I be aware of that I'm judging myself, that I think there's a should or a shouldn't, that I should have done something differently or I should do something differently or I should behave a certain way or I shouldn't have these thoughts. Shouldn't have these thoughts. That's like going down a river naturally and being like, "Oh, these boulders shouldn't be there." Mhm. Mhm. The boulders are just part of the river. And you're gonna stop and try to figure out how to get rid of the boulders. It's like it's just a natural process of the human experience. You may not like the boulders, you may not like the thoughts that come in, and maybe you're gonna look at where they came from. Well, this boulder came down from that part of the mountain because one day there was a really big storm and it rattled that mountainside, and then who gives a fuck? Who cares how that boulder got there? In my opinion, it's just the awareness that there's a boulder, that you wanna change the boulder because you think that that's your job. Little do you know, there's so many boulders in this river that you're gonna be spending the rest of your life trying to figure out how to change boulders in the river when the job is simply to allow yourself to hit the boulders and to keep going, which simply means be aware of the thoughts and keep moving, period. Be aware of the thoughts that are coming up. Recognize that they are thoughts, and then just bring yourself back to presence. I'm floating down the river. That one freaking hurt. This is a thought. I'm choosing to try to figure out this thought. I'm choosing to try to change this thought. I'm choosing to try to not have this thought, right? Just the awareness of what you're doing with thought. And all anxiety stems from thought. And anxiety is an intense energy felt in the body. And anxiety are thoughts pulling you into a future, trying to figure something out. How am I going to get this boulder out of the river? It's not your job. But you can spend a lot of time standing there trying to figure out how you're going to get that boulder out of the river. And it is a huge waste of energy. It doesn't feel good when you hit the boulder 1 billion, gazillion, trillion %. And by God, you have the awareness. There's a tunnel vision of, well, I got to figure out how to get this boulder out. What if you don't have to change or figure out your thoughts? What if what you simply need to do is just be aware of them and have compassion for the fact that you have these thoughts in your what we would call a mind that continue to move, and there are very powerful thoughts that will pull you out of presence, flow, gratitude, breath, and that's the human journey. This should not be here. This boulder should not be here. I should not be having these thoughts. I should not be having these emotions. I should not be unworthy. I should not feel insecurity. I should not feel jealousy. These are low vibrations. These are creating my reality. No. They only create your reality if you respond from them. So, for instance, if a boulder comes up, okay, and this boulder is telling you that you're not going to be able to make money because you don't have a job, right? And you're going to be in a lot of poverty, and you're not going to be able to pay your mortgage in 3 months. You're not going to be able to go and do this. You're not going to be able to go to your grocery store, right? So the boulder pops up, and it's these thoughts around lack. It's these thoughts around I'm not going to have enough. It's these thoughts around, oh my God, I better go get a job. Okay, legitimate, makes sense. It's a fucking boulder. Of course, it's a real thing that's there. The thoughts are real, and in one sense, they're energy and they're not real. They're an illusion, but they are real on another sense, right? And so if you respond in life from that, which means that you are in a state of resistance or restriction, and you are, you're not doing things because you are afraid that if you do that, you're not going to have money for this, or you respond from anger to your children or to your partner because you are looking at the boulder, right? And you're so afraid of what the boulder's telling you that you have this anger towards other people in your life, right? This frustration towards other people. Then what's essentially happening is, yes, these thoughts, this boulder is creating your reality. But what's actually creating it is the choice, the unconscious choice you're making, not the actual thoughts. It's the choice. That's sovereignty. So what actually creates your reality is choice. So if I am choosing to believe these thoughts and I'm going to respond and react from these thoughts, then sure, the thought or the emotional state is creating my reality. However, if I can see, let's say that the boulder comes in of unworthiness, right? That boulder is just all over the river for me. I'm constantly bumping into this unworthiness. Oh shit, here it is again. Here's that boulder again. I'm so familiar with you. If that boulder pops in, okay, I have the choice, the empowered choice to just listen to it and choose to believe it, or listen to it and choose to not believe it. Either way, I'm listening to it, right? And the way that I would choose, if I chose to believe it, then I would probably, for me, um, maybe I wouldn't be doing certain things in my job. Maybe I wouldn't be showing up in the same way. Maybe I wouldn't be doing videos. Maybe I wouldn't do another event in Sweden. I would, that would be me responding and creating a reality from unworthiness. But what I choose to do is pay attention to the boulder of unworthiness, recognize what it's saying to me, the thoughts, the emotions, all of that. And then I choose a different way. I choose to keep going no matter what. I choose to show up regardless of what the unworthiness is telling me. So, this whole program and paradigm that runs rampant on our planet, that these low vibrations create your reality, and I need to change these thoughts. I need to change these emotions. They're not good, they're bad, so that I can have the reality I want, is an illusion. The reality you want is already there with the boulder there. The boulder doesn't need to go away in order for you to create the reality you want. That is a really big, big misconception. And it's a trap. Because what that does, that reality, if I need to change these things, I need to get rid of these things in order to have the life I want, in order to have the creation I want, in order to manifest. And all that does is put you in a state of resistance and restriction against life. You are literally resisting what is naturally popping up in your river. And that and then it becomes you're in charge of the river. You're in charge of all of this. You're in control of all of this? No, you're not in control of any of it. The power, the empowerment, the actual mastery is you're not in charge of any of this other than being aware of what is arising, knowing that you're not what is arising, and that you have choice with everything that's arising, and it is the choice that's creating your reality, not the actual experience that is popping up. There are so many multiple realities at one time that exist right here, right now. It is not about getting rid of, pushing aside, changing what is. It's about realizing that whatever is popping up in your river, the thoughts, the emotional states, the behaviors, whatever it is, simply is allowed. It's simply allowed to be there. It's actually not what's creating my reality. My choice is creating my reality. And there are multiple other boulders that I'm going to find along the river. And I pop myself out of a conditioned reality based on if a boulder pops in, I then have to do what the boulder says. That's an unconscious, controlled, programmed state of being. But instead, you just like, oh, I bumped into that, whatever it is, the thought or the emotion or the behavior. You bump into it, you observe it, you feel it, you're aware of it. And then you just choose how you want to be and off you go. Then you bump into another one. Oh, shit, look at that one. So if you have a lot of anxiety or you have a lot of stress or you have a lot of worry, see it as a boulder. What's the boulder saying to you? Is it true? Is there a choice in all of this? Am I actually really fully safe to actually just bump into this boulder? In this moment, right here, right now, regardless of all the crazy thoughts that are going through your head, all the worry and fear that you have, which is legitimate and deserves to be seen, there is nothing in my conversation right now saying that you may not have money to pay your bills. I'm not saying that. Or that your relationship is going down the tubes and you don't know what to do. I'm not saying that. I'm aware of the boulders that are in your life. I'm aware of the boulders that are in my life. I'm not negating them. I'm sure the fuck not bypassing them. I'm aware of them. And then through that courage of being aware of them and like, look what I'm thinking, look what I'm feeling, look what I'm experiencing, look what's going on. That humble, courageous standing in that fire, standing in what is. Then there's this compassion for what I'm experiencing. And there's an opportunity and an invitation to go so deeply into the presence, the present moment, the now, through silence. Can you find silence throughout your day? Any few moments of silence. In this moment right here, right now, is there a breath in your body? Is there a heart beating? Are your lungs expanding and contracting like the powerful, amazing balloons that they are? Do you feel your diaphragm expanding and contracting? Does that take away from the boulder that is in front of you in your life? No. But does it assist you in how you choose to go through it? Abso-freaking-lutely, because you don't get caught up in grabbing the boulder and letting the boulder weigh you down all day long. What is right here, right now with you? Right? What is right here, right now? How often do you find yourself going back into the past and going forward into the future? Yeah, you have trust. Trust comes in. Faith comes in. Maybe tears. Maybe you start to get sad because you're feeling that it's actual sadness for what you're in. Maybe the more you get present, the more you feel that resistance against life. Yes. Maybe you get so angry getting present that you're fighting against presence. Yeah. What else? Right? We are not here, you guys, to get out of or to get rid of the uncomfortable, the stressful, the stuff that creates the havoc and the turmoil and the pummels. I am not here to get out of paying taxes and potential IRS audits. You are not here to get out of whatever is coming down the pike for you or whatever you are going through. You're not here to get out of it. You're here to learn how to go through it, how to be in it. Think about that for a moment. Feel how different that feels. And then if you have resistance against that, just pay attention to the resistance. The most powerful place that we can be in our lives is no longer running from what we are in or about to go into or have been in. We are learning true evolution, true awakening, which is how in the hell do I stand alive, awake, embodied, feeling, aware, conscious without running from it? So it's not that you're not going to try to get rid of the anxiety, or the stress or the worry or the fear. What you're doing is you're learning how to invite it in, magnify it so that you can see it, so bringing light to it, and then allowing that awareness to let it dissolve and move through you. So what happens with anxiety is we are fighting against the anxiety. I got to get rid of this. 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 I hate this. I hate this. This is so uncomfortable. This is so uncomfortable. What can I do? What can I do? Instead, spend 1 minute not fighting the anxiety, but just being with the anxiety. I hear you. I'm allowing you. I get it. It's a crazy world we're in. Yep. I get you, body. I get you, anxiety. I'm right here with you, anxiety. I'm going to breathe you through. Am I safe right now? Are these stories actually true? You befriend it. You befriend it. Okay. Yeah, and when you trust your higher self, or when you trust that there is something bigger moving you through all of this, um, and the way that you start trusting more and more in something bigger than just this experience that you're in, the easier it is to do that. The way that you do that is that you start to get present. I mean, that's truly what a meditation practice is for me, is me just sitting with myself quietly. And that allows me to feel that there's something so much bigger around me, by being aware of what is making me believe that there isn't something bigger around me, helping me, guiding me, giving me faith, right? Okay. Oh my God, I gotta get a massage. My neck is so tight. All right, that's it, you guys. I have 2 minutes left, but I have a live Q&A in my Patreon community today that I am going to go jump into at 10 a.m. I would love for you to join us if you want. It's my online subscription Patreon community. We are doing a live Q&A at 10 a.m. So I'm answering your questions. You get to jump on and you get to ask your questions and I answer them. We'll probably be on for about 90 minutes. The link, if you do want to join the community, it's a beautiful community. The link is right down below, or just go to patreon.com and enter in my name, Lori Ladd. And for all of you that are part of the Patreon here, I will see you in 1 minute. Thank you guys so much for being a part of Untangled. If this video resonated with you, please hit the like button. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you do subscribe, you'll get an alert when I do go live, and pass this on to anybody that you think would benefit from listening to it. Okay. When you run into a boulder, my first thought is going to be merrily, merrily down the stream. Yes. 100%. Thanks, Jennifer, for being here. Thank you, Tina, Mr. Floyd, Kay Ray, Nan, Tanya. Hi, Wes. Good to see you, and I'll see you over on hi, Sarah. Okay, you guys, it's beautiful to be with you. I will see you next Tuesday at 9 a.m. And if you want to join the Patreon community for our live Q&A that's happening right now, head on over. I love you.